Most of you are trained to get thrown off track in this way. Someone meaningful to you, like a mother or a father or a teacher or someone you care about, holds you as their object of attention, and when you please them, they show signs of being pleased, and you like that because you're an uplifter. You want them to feel good. So when you associate someone feeling good with something that you've done, that feels very good to you. But then if they are distracted and are not holding you as their object of attention, you may feel that you need to do something more to please them. Or if you should do something that doesn't please them, and then you feel the repercussions of not having pleased them, then you don't feel good because you've been sort of hanging your star, so to speak, upon them feeling good. And
Right.
it's what we call well-meaning people training you away from your own guidance system by rewarding you with their appreciation, but then by punishing you with their not appreciation, by being put out with you or disappointed in you. And you have to reach the place where what everybody else thinks about you is really not any of your business. You have to really not give a rip what they think, or even better said, you must care more about how you feel than how they feel about something that you're doing. And we know sometimes Esther will say, Abraham is like a small voice in the wilderness, because almost everybody is clamoring to please someone else. And that's why there are so many people then that have a hard time even hearing their own guidance. They're so used to listening to others, and then it reaches even greater proportion as people then are wanting to know what the polls say, or what the voters are saying, or what the majority of people. So people are then responding to the loudest outcry instead of to the truest vibration within them. And so more and more people get more and more out of kilter when they are not listening to how they feel. And then people say, even as they hear us, they worry. They say, Abraham, if everyone were as selfish as you are trying to get them to be, what would this world be like? And we say, it's the utopia our friend is reaching for. If you are selfish enough to really care about your alignment, and you are an example of that, and others become selfish enough to care about their alignment, and you have a world of people who are in alignment, now you have an incredibly cooperative world, because now you're letting people be. You're not trying to orchestrate their life experiences. You are allowing them. It's only when you understand that you get what you think about that you are then willing to allow others to think the thoughts and live the lives that they want to live. But when you believe erroneously, it is so incorrect. When you believe that what others do impact you, then you've got to control them, and you can't do that, and then you just go crazy. And the reason that people believe that others do impact them is because most people offer the majority of their vibration in response to what they are observing. You're sloppy in your thinking. You're observing things that you don't want to live, and by observing them, you're including them in your vibration, and by including them in your vibration, then you begin living them, and then you associate your living something you don't want with them doing something that you didn't want them to do. And so it's sort of a cycle that never works out for anyone.
Oh, I'm in a cycle that I'm trying to, a personal cycle, not professional, but it seems like I do better professionally as far as getting what I want, and I focus on what's real.
Well, it is helpful when you say, I do really well in this area of my life because that will help you then extrapolate what you're doing and apply it to another area of your life. But when you say, I do good in this area, but I don't do good in that area, you sort of just hold yourself in that unchanging place.
Right.
Things can't change. If you hold that perspective, the indicators of that vibrational perspective have to keep being your indicators. We want to...
So I need a paradigm shift in a sense.
No, not a paradigm shift. You just need to lean a little bit downstream.
Okay.
Just lean a little bit. Just be aware that, be more aware of the way you feel. Paradigm shifts are so dramatic. Where just leaning in the direction of something that feels better is something so easily achievable.
Okay.
In other words,
Right.
What you're looking for is a feeling of relief. Do you want to talk about the details of it?
Like I said, I've been successful in going from almost nothing to getting everything that I've ever wanted in lots of ways. One example is I practically willed myself with my fierce optimism and knowing that I would have a child at 44, even though the odds were really against it. And I had tried and tried. I still never gave up. But then I ended up somehow in this place that's very lonely.
So
it's by feeling all these feelings, like as I can't explain it.
Let's talk
like
about
leaving so many who don't think the
there,
same.
That's it. So
Or-
let's talk about what loneliness is. And so now this speaks to what we were
Not
just-
lonely, like I'm happy myself, but I want more people who understand. I guess I can't.
Well, we're going to begin by saying something that we think is extremely clever. You may not like it at all, but it's so clever we must say it, and then we'll show you what to do about it.
Okay.
And so we want to say you're looking for love in all the wrong places.
Exactly.
And then we want to say to you that it speaks to what we were talking about just a little bit ago, where most of you are trained to be aware of the response that you're getting from others. And so you have this sort of duality going on where you innately know that it is your work to come into alignment with who you are, and you've been working to do that and been seeing the success of that alignment on so many occasions that now you really know it. You've got it. Yeah, and you can never step back from that understanding. But then you find yourself feeling lonely because the majority of people don't get what you get, don't know what you know, can't relate to you. It's sort of what we were talking about here in this place of freedom and love and appreciation. Most of the population is not steadily there. And that's why so often when it's interesting, when people see someone living something that they want to live, it sort of aggravates their awareness that they're not there, and then they almost get on the attack. They don't mean to. They really are more well-meaning than it seems, but they are sort of striving for a sort of empathy. They want you to come over there so that you can have a conversation with them, and part of you, the physical part of you, would sort of like to go over there too. So then we say reassuring things to you, such as you cannot uplift from your place of not being uplifted. In other words, we like to tell the story that if you were walking along a mountain ledge with two friends, and one of them was very clumsy and the other one was very sure-footed, and you had twisted your foot or fallen over the edge and you were hanging by a flimsy vine, which of those two people would you be glad is there? And so your greatest value to everyone that you know, and you are a teacher to the very core of your being, your greatest value to everyone that you know and those that you are coming to know is in your alignment. So then you say, but people so often say it's lonely at the top, and we say it's lonely at the higher vibrations if you are looking for numbers. But if you are understanding that the feeling of loneliness, just like every other negative emotion, is not about the absence of something that is physical or someone that is physical rendezvousing with you, that feeling of loneliness is about you thinking a thought that holds you in a vibrational frequency that's different from the thought that your inner being thinks. So let's talk about moments when you feel that strong feeling of loneliness coming on. Let's say that you're watching someone who is not joyful, someone that you care about, who you want to be joyful. And as our psychotherapist friend that we talked to earlier, you're unwilling really to walk over there all the way and teach them what you know, because you understand that on vibrational basis they're not going to hear you anyway. You've tried that. You've tried to explain. They're sort of rooted in their beliefs, and they're not coming to where you're coming. And so
I have to go.
So and your going over there isn't going to help them anyway.